I'm at the first two stations of the Via Dolorosa at Palm Sunday procession. You can see the olive branches for the procession that will be later on. And I want you to meet someone special. This is the guy. When you reach the Via Dolorosa, if you will see him, you know that everything is safe. And he is actually allowing me to climb up to the Umaria school. Why? Sure? Can I be there for 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's okay. After you finish, you bring me.
Okay. He brought it the key. Did I mean angel? Did I say angel? Then he is the angel. And just I want us to read it. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Matthew 16:24. Jesus is looking for someone who will humble himself as he did and loving bear his cross. Will you be this disciple? I'm sure. Never happened to me. Now you can see that the first and the second station of the Via Dolorosa, the Way of the Cross, is outside El Umaria School. That used to be the Antonia from Jesus' time. That is according to the Catholic. Wow, this is a historical event for me. Let me close the door. Can you understand that I'm the only one here? This is according to the Catholic, the place that Pontius Pilate judged Jesus, the Praetorium. It's not less than the Antonia. And Antonia is a fortress that built by King Herod while he built the Jewish temple. He knew that from here he will be able to control. He will be able to control the temple and the Jews who've been there. And then Pontius Pilate was here at the same time that the temple was here and Jesus was in the city, because 3 times a year he had to be in the city. This is the Jewish one of 3 Jewish festivals. Now look at that. This is today the Dome of the Rock. I'm trying to focus here. It doesn't let me. Let me do that like that. Now we will. This is one of the holidays that every Jew must be in the city. And he gave me permission to be here for like 10 minutes. Then, wow, can you understand how important it is? Can you understand the friendship of his, then, Jesus before Pilate? I'm doing it from the book of Matthew, not because it's my favorite book. It is a favorite. I loved it. I loved all the Gospels, mainly because if I will switch from one Gospel to another one, it will be like a mash, and I want you to understand at least part of it. Then, it's 27, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He didn't ask him if he is a Messiah, according to Matthew. Just asking if he was a king of the Jews. And this is important because the only one who can crown someone as a king were the Romans. And the Romans didn't crown Jesus. He didn't mind about the Messiah. For him, as a Roman governor, he wanted to know if he is against the Roman regime. You have said so, Jesus replied. There's no clear answer. When he accused by the chief priest and the elders, he gave no answer. Then Pilate asked him, do you hear the testimony that they bringing against you? But Jesus made no reply, not even a single charge to the great amazement of the governor. Now it was the governor's custom to at the festival to release a prisoner chosen by the crowd. At that time, they had a well-known prisoner whose name was Jesus Barabbas. Listen carefully for the name. Jesus, there were two Jesuses. One is our Jesus, the Messiah. The other one is Jesus Barabbas. Now, for so many of you which don't know Aramaic and Hebrew, Barabbas, it's another name. But in the Bible, there is a meaning for everything. First of all, you must understand that I looked for every evidence for that kind of a custom about releasing someone, and I didn't find anything like that. If you will go to the Caesar, he might do that for his royal or best friends, but there's no evidence of that kind of existence. Then it's quite unique for Pilate. So when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want to release to you? Jesus, Barabbas? Wait a minute. Or Jesus, who is called the Messiah? Then, what is the meaning of the word Jesus? Salvation. That's why so many of you ask me to call Jesus Yeshua, salvation. And can you understand that I'm here alone? And the Jewish temple was here. I mean, Pontius Pilate was sitting here. You could see the Jewish temple, which was between 2 to 3 times higher than the Dome of the Rock. Wow! Then, Barabbas. Barabbas is an Aramaic. Bar, son, Abba, father. Then his name was of the bad person, not of our Jesus, Jesus, son of the Father, which is actually the same name of Jesus himself. This is strange, isn't it? Let me continue with it. Oh, I have to. And then, who you want to release? For he knew it was out of self-interest that they had handed Jesus over him. He actually realized that something is wrong here. He didn't find anything bad that happened to Jesus. It is strange, I must say, when you read it. And you know exactly the story, but I'm not sure that Pontius Pilate met Jesus before. Maybe he heard about it, but you know Jesus so well. Don't have anything to do with that innocent man, he said. For I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of him. Oh, sorry, that's something else. While Pilate was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent him a message: "Don't have anything to do with that innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of him." this is the first and the only time that a woman, his wife, is mentioned. And let me actually continue it outside, because I feel that he gave me permission to be here, and I can complete it at the first and second station outside. Where's the key? The key is here. Then let us see. Let's figure out that Pontius Pilate was sitting here, because I'm sure that this is the crown. From here, you could see the temple. His wife was next to him, telling him something. She had a vision, and in Matthew, we do have visions. Remember Zachariah? Remember, everyone actually had kind of a, not everyone, but a lot of them had kind of a vision. It's strange to see that she is here. As my wife, if I'll tell her let's go to Jerusalem for a week, she will say, oh, Zahi, let me stay here in my palace in Caesarea. In our side, it's not a palace, but it's a small apartment in Tel Aviv. It's too noisy there, it's too crowded. But she was there. This is a divine message. Remember the dream to Joseph? You can see that Pilate is for the favor of Jesus. In Mark and other Gospels, you won't find the story of his wife, that sadly the Bible never mentioned her name. That we are leaving now this school, and I can cry. I can cry because this is like the best present that I could get. The best present that I could get for you. There's no even one student here. We are the only one. We are the only one. Then let me go out of the school, which we know that it was the Antonia. Oh, goodness. I feel like it's the Holy Key. And if we're talking about that, you can see an arch there. No, from here you cannot see it. What you can see that there's now no one here. This is the Muslim quarter. There are no tourists. And it's Ramadan time, then there's no reason for them to open the shops now. You can see that arch. According to so many traditions, Pontius Pilate washed his hand, and we will reach it soon. There. What can I do? I cannot ask for more. I cannot ask for more. And let's thank him. Let's thank him. And let's do that again and again and again and again. God will save your life. Thank you very much. This is incredible. This is incredible. It's never happened to me. I will never ask to do that. Now, because it's a Muslim school, the Franciscans that responsible for that Via Dolorosa couldn't build those stations there, although you can see that it's very close. Then in that case they built the first and the second station right here then, because there's Wi-Fi. And I'm uploading another video. Then let me stand here, and if it's okay by you, and let us continue. Every gospel, every evangelist talks about different persons. For example, we know about the wife of Pilate, and Hodu. In Luke, we heard about Horus Antipas and Hanan, the high priest, remember, from the family of Caiaphas. historical figures. I'm sure. I'm so happy that Matthew decided to write something about it, because now we know more about what's happened here. 20. But the chief priest and the elders persuaded the crowd and asked for Barabbas and to have Jesus accused. It's such a difficult word for me. Which of the two you want to release to you? Asked the governor. Barabbas, they answered. What shall I do then with Jesus who is called the Messiah? Pilate asked. They answered, crucified him. Why? What crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, crucified him. You must understand that only the government could crucify them. They actually could kill someone. And a little bit about Pontius Pilate. The Ethiopians, for example, see him as a holy person. It's a saint. But history shows us that Pontius Pilate wasn't such a nice man. Maybe he was nice to Jesus. Maybe he saw the kindness of Jesus. Maybe he saw through the eyes of Jesus the idea of the Messiah. But at 36, the Samaritans actually accused him for murdering so many people, and he was kicked out from Israel. And for that, he became, as I told you, a martyr and a saint by the Ethiopian and the Copt Church as well. For the Jews, he wasn't so easy. If we are reading from Josephus Flavius, we know that he entered, not he tried to enter, he entered Jerusalem with the Caesar's statues, which is against the Jewish law. Remember, you shall have no figures and statues. No one did that except of him. The Jews begged him to stop doing it or to avoid from it, but Pilate didn't agree. He built an aqueduct to Jerusalem, which is amazing because it was really needed, but it took the money from the Jewish temple. Money for the temple, which was against any Jewish idea. He dressed his soldiers in a Jewish clothes, and they entered to the city and beat and killed so many Jews in the city. Then you can understand that the Jews didn't like really Pontius Pilate. When Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but that instead of uproar was starting, and that's not good, he took water and washed his hand in front of the crowd. You know exactly where it is. And he said, I am innocent of this man's blood, he said. It is your responsibility, he was talking to the Jews. All the people answered, his blood is on us and on our children, which is one of the worst sentences that you can ask for the Jews, because from that time, so many Jews died in so many places. Let's say crusaders, we know, but all over the Christians, all over from that time, from the 4th century, 5th century, the Jews were killed by so many and blamed by so many for so many diseases and so many problems in the world. The Holocaust is, I think, the major thing that happened, disaster that happened to the Jews. And I must say that it might be because of it as well. I know that it sounds so hard to say, but what do you think about the Jews after reading Matthew? 1965, the Second Vatican Council actually released the Jews from that horrible thing. I know that it's not easy to read, but I'm trying to show you not only your perspective, We are now in Israel. I'm trying to show you the Jewish perspective about that horrible event. Another important thing that I read in research, and I'm not talking about Jewish scholars, I'm talking about mostly German and 19th century scholars, and some of them were priests. They said that the reason that he washed his hand, which is in a way a Jewish tradition, King David did it, for example, and by that he actually cleaned the sins of his and his people. Then Pontius Pilate cleaned his sins. I mean, he's innocent, and not only him, the Roman emperor as well. And this is really important. Remember that the gospel was written at between the 80, 90 AD, and although he is actually talking to the Jewish community, but he is talking to the Romans community, and he had to find a solution for that. I mean, if you will blame the Romans for that, and don't look at that as heresy, I'm trying to show you a different perspective. It means that they won't accept Christianity. He is really blaming the Jewish community that denied Jesus. You are the blame. You took the blames of it, and it's a collective one. It's you and everyone who decide not to accept Jesus. We don't know if the Roman government knew that custom of washing the hands, but this is beautiful. It's very important for Mati to release the Romans, not only the government, the Romans from the death of Jesus. No one is now blaming them. In fact, as I see it when I'm studying about the Romans empire, Roman government here, their only mission was to keep the quietness here, to keep the Roman order. Then in that case, you have to choose if Pontius Pilate was an innocent man or not. I see Pontius Pilate as, in a way, and that will be a surprise for you, as an innocent man. It can be cruel or not, but if you found someone not guilty, there's no reason to kill anyone. It's a little bit sad for me that the Jews asked for a Barabbas, because Barabbas was a sinner, a robber, a thief. Then in that case, but that's history. The rest is not important. That's actually what's happened. Let's continue. It's now 26. Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus locked and handed him over to be crucified. The place that mentioned that is that church. But there are now, there's a mass there and I cannot enter. I will try to wait a little bit and then I will try to enter, promise you. I didn't mean to be here. And as you can see, it's the biggest surprise ever. I believe that if you believe in God, He will give you so many things. I think God, and I know Betty is thinking just like that, by Him, asked me to climb up, to be in that important day at the Antonia, at the Praetorium itself. Then the soldiers, then the government soldiers took Jesus into the Praetorium, and this is what I didn't like. Pontius Pilate is a saint, but a soldier, the Roman soldiers are not so. They gather the whole company of soldiers around him. They strip him and put scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorn and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand. They actually laughed at him. Then they knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King the Jews," they said. They spit on him and took the staff and struck him on his head again and again. After they had mocked him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. This is such an horrible thing. Jesus is not guilty, and still he will be crucified. In a way, this is God's mission. It's supposed to be like that. But still, can you be with Jesus at that moment? I will try to enter to that church later on, but I can't. Then let me take you to a different place while you are thinking about what's happened to Jesus. That's where he starts, is Via Dolorosa, in a way. Let me try if I will be able to open the light. You switch on the light because it's very dark here. I have that no one will be mad at me. Not that there is a huge difference, but at least we tried. Then you can see where they took Jesus out of the praetorium that we just came from, and he's now going to carry his cross with him. The mother was there according to every mother story. I mean, if my mother will know that I will die today, I'm sure that she will be there. When my mother died, I was with her. Then in that case, she came to here. And I'm almost sure that John was with him, because he was the only one who was with him, together with Mary Magdalene. And they tried to hide that horrible scenery from the mother. Now, just to show you a very ancient floor. Then you can see a floor. It's sadly not from the time of Jesus, but it's from the 2nd century. But you can see here, Roman soldiers' game. This is one. This is another one. Then it shows you that the Romans were here, the Roman soldiers were here. It means that the praetorium that we were visiting now might be Pontius Pilate praetorium, might be the Antonia, might be the real site of Jesus' trial. And there's another game here. Yeah, it's difficult to see. You see it's round. And before we will say goodbye, because I'm not sure that we will enter. You know what? I will try to enter. Please subscribe to my channel. And I know that I said things that for some of you consider to be an heresy, but I wanted you to see anything. I wanted you to see what everyone, others actually thinks about it. And if we're talking about that, look what's happening here. That statue used to be here, right there, and some crazy American Jew came to destroy the statues. Before you're gonna blame the Jews for doing it, you must understand that it's a minority of the minority. Most of the Jews are so against it. Then try not to blame the Jews for it, because it will remind me the same story of Pontius Pilate and Jesus right now. If you want to support my channel, because it's wartime and I'm not working for the last 5 months and I'm not going to work for the next few months, you can do that. The first option is At the bottom, you can see I'm in the. You can see the. It's called Super Thanks next to the like button. You can do that. Another option is through PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee links, which are at the description, the text beneath it. If you won't find it, send me a message and I will send you. Thank you for being with me in this important day, but don't go away because I will try to enter the church soon. If not, there's a lot of videos about that as well. Then don't go away. Funny to say, but he said that they already finished the mass. The door were closed, and I know I didn't want to disturb the mass. This is more important. Now let's enter to there, and I hope that no one will be there. Then I will be able to talk. If not, look at the glasses, window glasses, and you can see Barabbas story, Jesus are being judged, and Pontius Pilate washing his hands. Yes, they already finished, and I was waiting and waiting, but he saw it. He saw everything. All right, let's start with that. Barabbas. And next to him, Jesus. Third one is Pontius Pilate washed his hands, and you can see here the tone of horns. In the middle of it, you can see that it's flourish, it's beautiful. This is the divine nature of Jesus. And after you can see the blood tears of his. We did it. That church is a new church, but it was built on an ancient church by Bertolucci. Let me bless yourself here. Then, my friends, happy Easter. It's Palm Sunday procession today, and I'm gonna visit Betfage soon, and I will do it for you as well. Then, thank you very much for being with me, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Don't forget to send it to everyone. Bye bye.